This one doesn't ever like to cuddle. Well, we're training her on her cuddling skills. She's got a neck longer than a goose. Don't you? You peck people's eyes anymore? Did you peck my eye out if I left you? Hey, what's going on? Just close your eyes if you're near a chicken. She's like, I'll close my eye too. How's it going? This is Barbara. She always used to be real mean, but now she's calming down in her older age. She's probably three or four. I go like that with her. Yeah. She don't usually let you hold on her much. We're gonna go look around at some seedlings. I got some that need to be moved around today. She's got what's called a rye tail, where her tail is crooked. I don't know if you can see. It never sits quite straight. It's always off to this side like that. You can see it when she walks. See? But it doesn't affect her performance as a chicken. She's just a little off to one side. We're repotting a bunch of seedlings. These are just Pitanga tubas and things like that. I'll be here. Okay. Clark's going to get some brisket, isn't he? This is all shit I gotta move away from here. This tree's finally flowering. A lot of nice new growth on it. The Otto Anderson Broncovino. Phitrantha variety. See, this is another Phitrantha variety over here. I call it Sanford. But it looks a lot different. Look at the leaf. Let's go get a closer look. See that? How yellow it is? And it's a lot longer and shinier. And the new growth when it comes out. All right, drive safe. The new growth looks different. Now let's get one more look at this one over here. This is the one they call them Broncovino. See how much smaller the leaf is? What's up, Mac? What's up, Mac? See the difference in the new growth when it come out like that? Check this out. A little anomaly seedling over here. No, it's not a seedling. It's grafted. I'm sorry. It's a grafted tree. It did really good through the cold, and I just crowded it with other plants. But you see it's got flowers on it. Hey, guy. Hey, guy. We dropped your plant off at the post office. Should do fine. If not, I got a backup. Just let me know. Bill. See, it's grafted. Oh, look, all the way down there is where it's grafted at. It's got flowers all over there. Chickens are eating some scraps. There's Peach White Owl. Fan favorite around here. Look at the size of these, are almost ready. That's not trick photography, y'all. That's real loquat. That's a big size. That's not trick photography. Oh, these are some of the Avri loquats. And the animals have been eating them. You really got to pick them early if you want to enjoy them at all. That's about how I have to pick them. They would have been tasted better if I let them go longer. But I saved the seeds on these. Tony, you want some fruit? He flinched when I spit it. Oh, a girl came and stole it. It only had 2 little seeds. Sorry, make that 4. It's a good fruit even when you eat it early. Look at this nice ESALQ grafted tree. It's gotten really tall. So this is a Trunciflora hybrid. It's probably like 8 or 9 years old, and it flowered a couple years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. It flowered in a pot. I had it in a 25-gallon pot, and then I just planted it out like 2.5 years ago, right after it flowered. It's never flowered since. It's just sat here like a piece of shit. But now it's decided to do it again. I saw a flower over here. Hopefully this leads into more flowers and fruit, but really I need to clean this thing out and open it up. There's like stuff encroaching around it. I need to brighten it up, make it a more light come in and feed it more, I believe. All that kind of stuff. So sorry about that. I had the connection was on Wi-Fi and it needs to be on whatever the other thing is. So now we should be okay. We wanted to go take a look at some seedlings. Got disconnected there. Real bad service once you walk away from the house, but it should be okay now, I think. Probably need to turn on the water too. Go ahead and water a little bit, and then we'll chit chat. Turn this on, make sure this is open, righty tighty lefty loosey. It's flowing. Come to the water source. We'll start off with this little Coronata hestinga. Interesting little plant because it's got such tiny little leaves. Show that again. Usually the leaves don't look like that. So that's one I'm saving aside for being a mutant. And it's probably two years old by now. I'll show that again in a second. Just want to water some of these plants down. There it is again. Look how tiny the leaf is on that. That's a Coronata hestinga. Probably needs a little bit of fertilizer. A lot of these plants need to be moved. And I may even start doing that now. Today when Keegan's supposed to come by. Once he gets here, we might start moving stuff around. You usually only feed the plants on its own. Well, the person who just asked that question, thank you for your question and thank you for watching our channel. Now let me go ahead and give you a little answer as to what you've just inquired about. And as for the usage of your Hollytone Espoma brand product, which is their first real signature product that was developed, I think, in the 50s, really took them off and like made their product line to where they came up with some others, but that was their first real big seller. And I use it if I can, but I called my supplier the other day and they didn't have any more of the Hollytone. Okay, you follow? Now what I done instead is I went and looked up a fertilizer. It's going to have your macronutrients on there listed with the NPK ratio. The Hollytone, I believe, comes in at about a 434. Now, I could be different, but I looked at the closest product that they had that was comparable, that comes from Espoma, which would be organic and comparable to your Hollytone, okay? And what I come up with is a product they had in a 50-pound bag, and it's called Plant Tone, okay? Plant Tone. Go ahead and write that down. Get your pens and pencils out. And the plant comes in at about a 535, I believe. 535. So I just use that instead, okay? And it's not going to have the acidifying agents that I like with the sulfur pellets probably. But we're still going to go ahead and just, it's got nitrogen in it. Probably have to use a little less of it. Be careful we don't burn, but with a number like 5, that's not too high. You got to be careful when you get into that stuff that says I think is relatively safe. And that's what I'm using is a plant tone. They got one called tree tone. There's all sorts of other fertilizers you could use, but I just am always afraid to give them too much nitrogen. It can be devastating. Devastating. Does that make sense? You're welcome, Pelican Chase Point, if that is your name. I can't read these names on here. My eyesight's getting bad on my screen, so small, I'll read it wrong. But I thanks for your... Yeah, they got one called Tree Tone, Plant Tone, Tomato Tone. I really just look for the cheapest product that had acidifying qualities, and Hollytone was that. But you could use like Citrus Tone, which has a much higher nitrogen and expensive. But I kind of always enjoyed using the Hollytone. I felt like it was pretty safe and not likely to burn as much, okay? Still, I really should be, but I've kind of gotten a little lazy, and I think I did about maybe 150 or 200, where if I could get a good percentage of those to take, I'd be doing pretty good. I'd be set for a good part of the year, but I think I may have to graft another 100. I don't know about the amino acid thing. I don't know. Just do whatever you do in moderation and just tiptoe around. And I don't think it would hurt, but just don't overdo it. Too much is bad. Hollytone is like a nice product for my needs, but really there's a bunch of other things you could be using. It just happens to be the one that is like the one that I use because it's readily available. It's organic. And I just got in the habit of using it, but I don't think it's like some kind of miracle product. I do like the fact that it has the mycorrhiza. I heard the citron works decent, but it's kind of high in nitrogen. That's right. Dennis is in the house. Hey man, I like that video you made on your Instagram, Dennis. You did like an air layer. It was pretty cool, man. I like your editing skills. You're gonna go somewhere one day, man. Well, you're already there, but you're gonna go further. You're gonna graft a bigger. Triple phosphate, yep. Everybody's got all their little ideas and their plans and their scams, and I'm right there down with you. I agree. I would do everything you just said, and then put it in a ham basket and sell it. If someone placed an order on the website, it's been about 6 days, and I have to ship a couple orders. If you do use it, just go light. Be careful. I wanted to take a look at some of these Plinia hybrids that I tried to make. We'll take a quick look and show you some stuff to look out for. It's really not that difficult once you get in the habit of growing a bunch of varieties, and maybe you'll lose a tag, or sometimes you just got to know what's what, and you got to know if what you're looking at is something that looks different because it's growing in certain conditions, like maybe a lot of shade that make the leaves look big, or maybe even a lot of sunlight that make the leaves look small, or there's all these stupid things you got to rule out as far as if what you're looking at is actually something special. And a lot of that comes down to like the new growth, the leaves, the way that the veins are in the leaf, the way they're arranged, the hair, the trunk, the bark, the growth habit. But some of that can be a little bit variable. When you're growing a bunch of seedlings, you might get a little variation in the growth habit, where some are more upright than others, and some are more, whatever. There's a lot of variation just in growth habit with the red Jaboticaba. When you're growing that one out in the grove, I've got some that just have a nice growth habit that's weeping, and some that are more shrub-like or upright. And so I'll water these plants here. We're going to take a look here in a second. Favorite as growth. There's a lot that I like for their growth habit. But I'm trying to think of which one. I like the ones that are real low and bushy. I got one over here that I'll show you. It's got a cool growth habit. It's real low, bushy. And I like it for that reason, because I like stuff that fruits in pots. This tree right here, look how low it is. Look at that. And I got one that's the same age, and it's 4 times the height. This thing is like, it's growing, but it's not getting tall. So I like that. It's short. That's a hybrid of the anomaly, where we took the Grimmel and we hybridized it with the Grimmel. So it's a hybrid of the anomaly. The anomaly has a more upright growth habit than that tree. I believe that one is just a little more low growing somehow. Got a more squat habit than the anomaly. There's a cool ass lizard up there chilling. You saw him flexing? You want a little water up there, homie? They don't like getting wet, but they do drink. Keep waiting on this thing to get ripe. It's taking forever. I guess it's because it's the winter time. But I had one that was really good, and I picked it a little early. I got this special red Seedling. It's definitely something different. Yeah, if you got something from me, there is always a chance it's something different, because I could have thrown in something different just to be nice, or you could have got a hybrid, most likely between the Grimmel and the red. You know what I mean? Imagine being that lizard up in here. Is that a flower next to him? Looks like it could be flowering. Sorry to bother you here, buddy. Oh no, that was just a part of the lizard. Yeah, let's take a look. This was a Grimmel that had variegation at one point, but I don't think it's gonna hold on. But I do see some still. Maybe it will. See some there, a lot of green. Let's just keep an eye on it. I've pruned it back several times already to cut the green off. Like, you know, it's already reverted to green quite a bit several times, but it could hold on. We'll just keep pruning it and praying. It's a prune and pray operation. It's not, I wouldn't write it off quite yet. Now we do have some over here. A lot of this stock needs to be moved. I hope these aren't suffering or I'm in trouble. That's a bad spot of the greenhouse. ESALQ seedling over there with real small leaves. Can take a while if you don't do it right. You can take them 6 months if you're unlucky. And then there's some varieties that just take longer. But if you're doing it right, you can get them to go in like 5 days. Man, you can get them to start pushing out roots in about 5 days if you clean them right, and just depending on the variety. But no, I ain't growing that. I'm not growing a Yucatan. This had ants all over it, but the ants have died now that it got really cold. And I'm hoping this year we get a nice crop on it. I'm gonna keep it inside this shade house. So I think we got a good chance. These are some seedlings over here that are Kimber and Mosey's hybrids. And they all kind of look a little bit similar. But this one over here, I like this one. Got a little bit bigger leaf than the rest. So we'll keep an eye on it. But these are all ones I gotta sort through. It's an interesting one there. Kind of looks somewhere in between the Grimmel and the red. Just fertilized them today. You see they're kind of getting a little pale. And I think that's pretty normal for the Grimmels. They just seem to do that at a young age. This one looks like it's dead. I hate to see that, but that one may have croaked. Yeah, this one's a goner. This one's dead. This one's dead. I'll pull these over there to see them for who knows for what reason why, but they're just down. This is an Otto Anderson seedling. You know, I pulled it aside because I thought it was special. But now that I look at it, it's not really too special. So I still like the tree, and I'm gonna grow it out till it fruits, just to see. But it needs a new pot. It's definitely root bound. Matter of fact, I might try. Just gotta go find the soil for that. And then this one over here, always been a funky looking tree that I like it a lot. Would love to see this flower one day. I think it's a Grimmel hybrid of some sort. Because the leaf it looks a lot like a Grimmel anomaly hybrid, which it could be. But I'm thinking it may be Grimmel and something else. But Grimmel anomaly is what I was hoping for, but I just don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know. But the tree has got the funkiest, real funky growth habit, sprawling. Definitely, I think has the Grimmel. The bark is kind of Grimmel as well. But I always loved how it grows. Yeah, it's a Grimmel hybrid over here with the Grimmel and the this is a Grimmel anomaly, and this is from the same batch of seeds that really short one is from. It's the same age. They were twins, like from the same era, whatever, same breeding effort. This is the other one that was really short. This is its sibling tree, and it looks a lot different. And it's got like a thick leaf. The new growth is just kind of whatever. Doesn't look too crazy. It is a beautiful tree. But you wouldn't, if you saw the tree, you wouldn't think much of it. It doesn't look like anything crazy or anything special. But looking at the bark, I like the way the bark looks. I'd love to see this thing flower and fruit. It had a hole that went through right here, but that's healed up, I think. Yeah, it had a hole that somehow formed. Like it broke and then grafted itself back together. No flowers yet, but anytime now should be flowering. I like that tree. This is the Kimber's hybrid. You see look how dark the leaf is. Imagine if you're planting red Jaboticaba seeds in Grimmel and you got this to come up. Wouldn't you say, well, I didn't import this from anywhere. It just came up from a batch of seeds and I was planting reds and Grimmels. That means you got yourself a hybrid, but you got to know what to look for. And you know, when I first had it as a little baby, it didn't look too much different. It would have been hard for the average person to say, oh, don't sell that, don't let that go. You know, you wouldn't have thought that probably. You would have just been like, yeah, it's another one of them Jaboticabas. I guess that one's got a little darker green leaf to it. You know, you wouldn't have thought much of it. There was a fruit on it that I didn't pick, and it must have fallen off or something ate it. You know, one time I was at a park, and I could tell you 2 stories about it, but I've literally seen those anoles. I've literally seen an anole, the little lizards, the Cuban ones, run up to a little fruit and eat it. And like, I used to have miracle fruit growing, and they would take shark bites out of the miracle fruit. They would just bite the fruit like a shark. I was like, I was like, what's eating my fruit? Oh, nice Patangattuba seedlings flowering. I got some I'm selling on eBay that have flowers. I think the last one someone got a pretty good deal on it because I didn't really specify that it was flowering in the description, and so people didn't see that it was flowering. So hopefully this time it goes for a little more. The last one, they got a deal. Look at this lemon drop mangosteen pushing out a lot of new growth everywhere. Look at that. This tree, I like it because it stays pretty short. But this is a dream tree right here, man. One of the easiest to grow, easier than citrus. I wish I had 20 of these planted out. Wish I had more. But I like this tree a lot. A lot. But look at this thing. It's so pretty. You can ice it over when it freezes. We've been taking a lot of cuttings off of it, doing a lot of grafting. It's almost like every single flower sets a fruit too. You don't need 2 trees, you just need 1 tree. It's self-fertile. Every flower, you're gonna get a little fruit. Isn't that cool? And then I have this one over here, which is it's another improved one, but it's never been quite as big as that one. Although it's good and I sell the fruit, I just use the seeds of this for rootstock. It's not quite as good as that one as far as the size of it. But it is a good fruit, I'm not gonna lie. And it's gonna have some flowers coming. We're gonna have, if all goes well, this season, we'll be selling a lot of the lemon drop mangosteen fruit fresh. Okay? Look at this little dry ass tree, man. This thing's dry as shit. It's like it won't. It's got so much air that it won't release in the soil. It's like I feel it trapped in there and it will not come out, the air. You want them bubbles. Bubbles. Bring that air out, man. Look at all the air. It's like farting. Still some air coming out. Arr. Hopefully we get a good crop on the reds. This is a grafted lemon drop mangosteen. It's been very productive for how small of a tree it is. Beautiful lizard there cruising. Fruit on this one ahead of the other one. Kind of nice. We'll have some fruit on this soon. Another couple months maybe. Little late crop. These are the ones that I grafted. Oh, nice. Flowers coming. This is the one I just grafted, and it does have some activity coming out. I had a tree die in the ground, and so I put these in the ground because they take the cold real well. So those are coming along really nice. Look at this. Garcinia gardneriana. And look, flower time, baby. Nice, a lot of flowers coming. And these only need one tree. It sets fruit pretty well. It's the most flowers I've ever had on it. But look at the size of these flowers. You can tell bigger flower, bigger fruit kind of deal. Those are a nice sized fruit. I'll tell you something funny about it. If you eat it too early, and this is just my opinion, maybe it's because of something else I ate beforehand. But if you eat it too early, and there's two things. First, if you eat it too early, and second, if you just bite into the skin almost has like a fishy taste. It was interesting. It was an interesting kind of fishy flavor to the skin, to the rind, not to the fruit. This is the lemon drop mangosteen that I grafted in place of a tree that died, another one. But I like them so much. You see, I put that there, it's gonna look like that in another 3 years. It'll probably take about 3 years for it to look like that. And then I'll be able to sell some fruit. But I'll have some more lemon drop mangosteens in here. They fruit several times a year. These have got to go into 25-gallon pots. These are the Eugenia ligus. Looking for some flowers on these Coronata hestinga. These are definitely old enough to flower. And I haven't been looking for flowers, but we may find one right now live on TV for the first time. I don't see shit though. Still have a little bit of time where they may emerge a little later in the season. None yet there. Maybe on this one here. No, not yet. They could be right in front of me hiding and I don't see it. Okay. Nope. It's a nice tree. Looks like it might try to flower here. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, we got another one here. Okay. No flowers yet. Okay. And then we have a scarlet here that's been fruiting and flowering really well. A real nice tree. Easy to keep happy in the ground here. And it fruits a lot. But it almost needs to be pruned. And then this is another grafted lemon drop mangosteen that I have here, which has got this triangular shape. Like it a lot. It's got a bunch of fruits on it. This one's gonna have fruit when none of the other ones do. It's on a different schedule somehow, some way. That's really cool. Excited about that. Real excited. Let's see if any of these grafted are flowering. Luke's should flower any time now, but I guess not today. Little Pickering mango on it. It's got a flower on it, little guy, doesn't he? Yep. Now this is my special Jaboticaba seedling that I'm praying is a hybrid of something. But I think it's just an interesting look. And a Jaboticaba. It's somewhere in between. If I get a hybrid, you're gonna have to call it the Guinness Book of World Records. Because that's Patomba there. And then this is my plant that we're praying is somewhere in between. It's confusing because you got to look at the bottom of the leaf. If you take this one here, you look at the bottom, let's sacrifice the leaf. Okay, we take one of these. We take one of these. This is a Patomba here, a Patangataba here. Okay. You got 3 different leaves here. Put the, okay. It looks like a Patomba. Because that's a Patomba on the right. In the middle is the one I'm hoping was a hybrid. And on the left is a Patangataba. But it does more and more just look like a Patomba. Crushing my hopes and dreams, guys. They're so close, all of them. Anyway, we'll find out one day. I'm sure it's just a Patomba with a funny leaf. But I like to. I wish I could have shown you more of the hybrid stuff. Let's take one more walk in here. If the stream cuts out, just bear with me. I'll be right back. But let's do one more walk in here and see if I can look at some shit. This is where it fucked up last time. Yeah, this is that ESALQ that has little tiny leaves. Kind of cool. And these are a Kimber and an anomaly. Looks like it just kind of like the anomaly, to be honest, but that one looks like it may have got crossed over a little bit. And then these all are ones that I'm monitoring, all these seedlings. I need to make sure none of these are dying. Yeah, they need more sunlight. I'm gonna move these today. They're looking good still, but they need to be moved like immediately. We'll move those out today. I've lost a couple, but not a lot. These are all seedlings I'm monitoring. Those will all be moved. Anyhow. A lot of work keeping up, but let's see. Lower the phone down, I lose connectivity. This is the Himalayan, red Himalayan mulberry. Put a lot of air layers on it. Hopefully they take. If not, we'll just try again. Nothing wrong with pruning a mulberry. There's one over here too, another red Himalayan that I grafted. Here it is. Look at that. Hey, Thiago, man, I really appreciate you. I won't forget you. I really appreciate you. Yeah, this is a grafted one here. Hope you're doing well, Thiago. Hope it's not too cold where you're at. Hope it's not too cold. Oh, look like a sucker trying to come out right there. This is another part I grafted, but look how much smaller this one is. They were grafted at the same time. That's the same time grafted. I did 2 grafts. I don't know if it's on the same tree or what, but this one really took off. So that's cool. Big shout out to Thiago Dantas. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated, man. This is a Patanga seedling that I planted out, and it's flowering. That's kind of cool. First time it's flowered. Probably took about 3 or 4 years. And I planted it next to this Patangataba that's dying to dry it up. Planted that one a little too low. So You know, I wonder if this tree over here has any flowers coming. It's a Inga. I've cut this thing back so many times that I don't imagine it would flower now. It did really well through the cold. It didn't really even lose its leaves, which I thought it would through 28 degrees, but I guess it was in a protected location. These are supposed to fruit pretty quick, but mine hasn't fruited yet, probably because it's in so much shade. But I've seen people with trees fruit them a lot shorter and quicker. Anyhow, I shouldn't have planted it where I planted it because there's a power line right underneath it. I mean, it's underneath the power line. This is a Jaboticaba I planted out and left it for dead. Some great chop and drop there. That's true. That's what I've been doing with it, is just chopping and dropping. Do something beneficial. Yeah, thanks again to Thiago. Really appreciate you. This is a Paulista I planted out that almost died in the pot, and it suffered for many years, but now it's pushing out pretty well. I just dumped a bunch of fertilizer on it, and you can see where it died back. It used to be like a 10-foot tall tree. This is a nice little hybrid here. Cauliflower hybrid. Look at these shoots and new growth coming out. I'd like for this to fruit because I've seen one fruit that's this big. I just broke a piece off. I'll have to give that to Keegan. He's even here. Another lemon drop mangosteen seedling. This one was covered up for the cold, and it's got flowers coming all over. Kind of hard to see, but there are flowers coming. They're coming. You gotta believe me. You gotta believe. You just gotta believe. Oh, this has been the most atrocious, unhealthy tree since I've got it. And it's a little white Jaboticaba seedling. Came from Puerto Rico. Guy was growing them there. And it's not dead yet. I don't know how this thing hasn't fucking died. But I planted it in the ground. And it's somehow alive. I'm gonna fertilize it and just, it's somehow not dead. I don't know how. It's not flowering, is it? It needs to be a little crowded here. I can't believe that tree's still alive. That thing's like 10 years old easy. It's like something came through and ate a bunch of these leaves. It's like cleaned out in here. Maybe there's a caterpillar that did it. But I had a bunch of leaves in here, it seems like, that are gone. Maybe the chickens eat them. Maybe they just died back, or I did something with it. Oh well. Yeah. Dragon fruit. Going all the way up now. I've never grown dragon fruit here. That's gonna be fun. It's taken off. I've got 2 different types. I forget the names on them. But let me see this real quick. What's going on here? Okay, this little guy. It needs to go up here. Ow, fucking thorns, man. I hate thorns. I had to prop that up there because it had fallen down. This one's doing really well. Who knows which is which. But this other one here, it needed to be propped up. It looks like it wants to fall again. This piece of shit, man. There we go. And then this can go out of the way. Broncamel. That's a Broncomel seedling I planted. And you know, if you don't fertilize them, they'll sit there and they'll stay green, but they won't grow. You gotta fertilize them. Gotta fertilize them. Look at Ruby Honey. I got some of those grafted coming for sale, but look how pretty. Ruby Honey. At first the leaves come out red, but then they turn green. That's the other Ruby Honey. Look how nice those look. This is one of my favorite varieties as far as ease of growth. And then the fact that it's an heirloom variety. I haven't tasted it, but I like the trees a lot. They're just really pretty, easy to grow. And they just look, they don't look like anything else really. So I'm happy to have the Ruby Honeys. And I grafted some of those. So it's gonna be a real treat for somebody to get one, okay? We'll take a look at some of these hybrids here. These are my Sabras. These are the Sabra Grommo hybrids. See that new growth like that? This one's nice. Really like this one a lot for the way it looks. Unique. Very unique. Very nice tree. Even that one too. All of them. All of them. Can't give them away. Gotta keep them. Okay. A lot of Sabras in here. I just put them in bigger pots. These I am selling some of the Sabras. But I wouldn't mind keeping them. I just keep them. Not in any kind of rush. Peat moss on deck. Gonna get some more of that too before something bad happens and you can't get it. But I need to go hard on the peat moss. And I've been meaning to pick some up. BWI is sold out. BWI is sold out, but you can still Lowe's. And you just got to go from Lowe's to Lowe's to Lowe's. And Lowe's will deliver. It costs about $20 a bag if you have it delivered rather than $14. But you tell me, you willing to pay, you know, you pay and you get it delivered. But this is the other stuff that comes from BWI. And I like it a lot. Good shit. You know what? I got to call BWI too and find out if they have any gallon-sized pots. They didn't have gallon pots, and I'd be willing to spend $200 or $300 on gallon pots. And the minimum to get something delivered from BWI is $600. It used to be $300, but now it's $600. Okay, so I got to come up with a $600 order. And that's going to be some bags of your plantain, some of them cell packs, the ones you grow in the trees, the deep ones, okay? And then you're gonna need some perlite, okay? They don't have peat moss, but I could use some 1 gallon pots out here. All right, check out me on eBay. I got some cool shit on eBay. I got a grafted Garcinia. I don't think I have any grafted Jaboticabas, but I put some really nice seedlings on there. And there's something, flowering Patangatuba, and just some nice shit on there, man. Check me out. This is a Grimmel planted in the ground, flowering. Looked like shit in years before, but it's putting on a really nice bloom right now. It really suffered for several years, and now it's on the comeback. But don't give up on a tree. Just give it time to settle in. I had this in a pot looking good, man. It was looking so good. And I said, I'm going to plant that out. It's flowering. It's fruiting. So I planted it out, and it suffered for 2 or 3 years. It was planted too deep, maybe. I had some branches die back. But now it's on the come up. And it just took a while. You got to fertilize it. And you got to water. Anyway. Yeah, you got to try. So I should be trying to cross-pollinate these two with some pollen I have. But thanks again, Thiago. I really appreciate you. Let's take one more look at this over here. This is the Plinia rivularis I just dug up. It was really in a pot, and it never even put roots into the ground. and it's got flowers coming for the first time. I don't think anyone else in the United States has that one flowering. I'm pretty sure. If they do, they've been keeping it a secret. Maybe someone has it and I don't realize it, but no one's posted pictures, told me about it. But I guess I don't follow up in all the groups anymore. I've fallen off, so maybe there is a young buck out there that's got them going. Kind of nice to have that. It took a long time. And then look at the bark. I don't think it's a Plinia, to be honest, because, you know, the bark really shouldn't look like that. You know, Plinias have a peeling bark. This is more like a Myrcieria, and it fruits at the tips. If you ask me, the botanist got this one fucked up, man. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's a Plinia. It looks more like a Myrcieria, if anything. Maybe I'm wrong. Call it what you will. These are some seedlings I got from Ben Poirier, however you say it. Ben's Plants in California. He had them labeled as ribbed or something like that. Ribbed. Anyway, I planted 2 of them. They look totally different. I don't know, one's maybe a hybrid, or who knows what's going on here. I don't know what's what, but I could be confused. Maybe that one's ribbed and then this is a hybrid of something, or it's confusing. It's going to take me years to figure that out. But this almost, now that I look at it, does look like a Grimmel hybrid. Maybe. It really looks like a lot of my other Grimmel hybrids. And then maybe this over here is the ribbed seedling. Who knows? It's going to take me years to find out. But these are definitely not the same. 2 different trees for sure. Anyway. Thanks for watching. And yeah, check me out on your eBay, all right?